Thanks very much. 2 deadly shootings in the city yesterday, 3 homicides in about 8 hours over the weekend as well on the Saturday. So what is behind this frightening spike in violence that we've seen in Toronto? What can we do as a community to try and bring an end to this bloodshed? Joining me now is Toronto Police Chief Mark Saunders. Chief, thank you as always for coming in the morning and chatting a little bit about what is happening right now. It's been a frightening few days again in the city. It had been calm for a while.
Yeah, it had. If you look at Toronto historically, you see that there are all these peaks and valleys that occur, especially with gun violence. I will say this one has had a much longer time frame to it. It is concerning. The good news is that we've had a lot of really good traction with a lot of the investigations. I'm looking forward to the outcomes of these investigations, and I think that we'll make the apprehensions for most of them. But again, it speaks to, it's not about just the apprehension. It's important. You see the catastrophe that occurs when these shootings take place. What do we do to get in front of it? That becomes much more of a critical issue in discussion.
Now, one of the big things I think is trying to reach out to communities. And how is that? Is that working? Is that happening? There's always been talk you have to get the communities involved to help this.
Yeah, but you have to understand the environment, especially when you deal with street gang shootings. You know, the street gang members live within a community, and it's a team sport. So when one member of the gang shoots somebody else, the other 8 members of the gang are still in the neighborhood. So, you know, 98% of the community, they want to help. They do help with Crime Stoppers and other means of giving us information. That's not enough to go to court. And so really looking at the laws and what the laws are when they were written, and having an understanding, a better understanding of street gang violence in urban cities, and what laws can be put in place to help with those types of occurrences.
Now, the province promising $25 million, calling on the city and the feds as well to match that. What would you like to see if that does come true? What would you like to see that $25 million? Where would it go?
Well, the $25 million is going to be specific to gun violence and to reduce gun violence. When we do that, it is a moment for the law enforcement to be very streamlined. I think in the past it had a lot more impact on community as a whole. The community wants us in the neighborhood, especially when it comes to eradicating those few that are brandishing guns and shooting. And so we have to be a bit more surgical, using the technologies that are going to be available for us to create stronger cases. I see the government has put some funding in now to strengthen the back end, which means when people are shooting other people, it should be a higher watermark when it comes to bail, and if bail is given, it needs to have a stronger conditions to it so that it isn't taken advantage of. And so I think utilizing the funds from those angles and those streams will give us some positive outcomes.
Now, you talk about technology. There was the controversy over the shot location technology. What other technology might you be looking at to help?
Well, I don't want to get into all of the tools in the toolbox. I don't want to get into the business of making criminals smarter. Not saying that they are smart, but I don't want to put all of that out there. That'll be played in the courtroom, and hopefully we'll have some great outcomes. With the shot spotters, people have concerns about it, and I will definitely make the efforts to explain a little bit more as time goes on, as we move closer to the finish line, that it's not a tool used to listen to conversations that are had. It'll take a little time for people to feel a little more comfortable, but I can rest assured it'll be used properly, and we will be respecting the privacy of citizens.
And the mayor calling on a ban on handguns, will that make a difference in the city?
Well, you know, I don't know. My focus is on people that are shooting other people. I spoke earlier on you know, there's going to come a time when those blueprints for the 3D guns come out. And so people that want to shoot other people will have means of getting it. If the government, if the day wants to ban, then so be it. I'm nonpartisan to what the government's going to do. I'll just enforce whatever laws put into place.
Okay, Chief, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks,
today.
Roger.